going to be talking today about Celebrity Apprentice, Season 12, Episode 9. The topics we're going to cover are:
why is Aubrey still pissed?
Why doesn't Trump fire Diana?
Did Aubrey really mean her apology to Arsenio?
Lisa and Diana team up against Lou.
Lisa goes nuts on everyone.
Lou says some really harsh words to Lisa.
Truth versus loyalty.
Is Lou set up in the boardroom?
Arsenio calls Aubrey a...
Lou Ferrigno tells Lisa that if she was a man, he'd smash her to the wall. And we all know what happened. Let's get right into it. Who pissed you off in this episode?
Lisa definitely pissed me off. I felt like she was so, in all the episodes, I feel like she's really condescending and she thinks that she is the top gun and she, knows how to do all the work and nobody else does anything and, oh, I'm smarter than everybody else. But I feel like nobody's smarter than anybody in this thing. I feel like everybody, has their own specific talents, and I feel like she's not giving anybody a fair chance. Every single person that is on her team, she's always trying to say something about. Always. Except for Aubrey. Aubrey's her butt buddy.
Oh, yeah, they became butt buddies this time. Aubrey's
her, little daughter now. She wants to, to train her, to mold her, to become her. It's not right, Everybody, last week, she had something really, she had all this bad stuff every single week. She had all this bad stuff to say about Diana. And now that Diana stepped up and now Diana became under her wing, now she has bad stuff to say about everybody else, including Lou. And it's not fair. It's really not.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people are picking on Lou a lot. But it's funny coming from you because I know when we were watching it, for a long time, you were really into Lisa and Aubrey. Those were your, the dream team.
I wasn't into them. No, I said that Lisa and Aubrey are both smart and they're creative more than everybody else. But that doesn't give them a right, or Lisa doesn't give Lisa a right to, step on everybody else and say, oh, they're stupid and they're losers and they're, oh, God, I have to deal with these people with 5 brain cells and blah, blah. Give people a chance, And then it's funny because when she did give Diana a chance, then she started bashing on somebody else. It's like she can't go one episode without bashing on somebody. It's not fair.
Yeah, that's true. So
she has to bash on somebody. It's so ridiculous.
Who was, for me, I think it's pretty clear. The character that pissed me off was Lisa. For me, I think it's even Aubrey more, but Lisa definitely in this episode. I don't know.
Aubrey behaved herself this episode. She was mad quiet. She was like, yeah, everybody was great, blah, blah.
She was just playing it off. She's still the same deep down inside. She was just trying to make everyone think that she, rose above the conflicts, but she didn't, because she said it in the interviews. But
the only thing she said in the interview, babe, was she said, I'm not going to forgive Arsenio Hall. Because I honestly, now that I think about it, if somebody called me, those words, I would be hurt too. And I wouldn't forgive that guy, or maybe I would, but it would take me a long time.
So a lesson to all the guys: if you really think that a woman is a bleep, you can just think it and just don't say it, because when you say it, the problem is it turns against you. And I feel like that's what happened to Arsenio. I feel like Aubrey was so wrong, and I think Arsenio had it. People were on his side for a long time, and then he just got so angry and ballistic that people just started turning on him. Wait a second, you're going too far. If he had kept it, if he had kept his calmness a little bit and kept his, kept the attention on Aubrey and stopped, going crazy, calling her a bee and a whore and all this stuff. Oh my God, he lost it.
It's not like he benefited anything out of calling her that, so it was, he just did it out of anger, and I respect that. He was angry, and I did agree, and I felt like Aubrey was wrong, but now that I thought about it, the next day, it was kind of you wake up and you're like, oh crap, I just got so embarrassed on national television, I'm sure I kind of feel her a little bit, not that I like her more than Arsenio or anything like that. I do respect what she said. I feel like she said, I might not forgive him, and I don't blame her, that's all. I don't think she's gonna try to get back at him or anything like that,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really love, who was the winner in your eyes of this episode?
Honestly, I mean, I believe it or not, as much as Teresa really is so weird in this Celebrity Apprentice show, because in the Housewives, and I'm sure maybe we'll talk about it also again in the new season, I heard Teresa's gonna cause a lot of drama and havoc, on everybody.
You're talking about the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the new season coming up, even though this is for.
So, I mean, I don't understand her personality. I don't understand what's happening to her on the show. I feel like she's just trying to play a nice role, a nice, sweet little housewife role for Donald Trump, you know, because she wants to be all nice, you know, just so she can get his money. But really, like, I do respect what she's doing, you know, and I respect that she's being really nice, you know. I also really like Clay. I like Clay Aiken a lot. I feel like he's very, he speaks the truth, you know, and I feel like he's very out there and straightforward, and he's very helpful. And I like the fact that he speaks the truth a lot, you know.
What about Paul Senior? This in this episode, I mean, he's
just kind of like staying behind the, you know, he's just chilling. Like, he's not letting anybody get to him, you know. Like, he's just, you know, going under the radar. You know, he's just like, yeah, whatever.
My winner, I think, for this episode was, it's hard to say. I really love Lou. I mean, I don't know, he really didn't do much, like, in this episode, but it's between, like, Lou, Arsenio, and Paul. I don't know, it's way too much, right? Only because, like, Lou, I feel like he's, you know, he really kind of, you know, said what was on his mind and got it out and really, you know, spoke his mind to Lisa. Arsenio, same thing, spoke his mind to Aubrey. Paul just loved what he did with the whole becoming you know, this whole geeky thing, you know. So to me, they were winners in the sense of, like, getting out what was on their minds. But let's go into the task. What did you think of the task? We had Arsenio presented the check to Magic Johnson. Any comments on that?
No.
Bumped bald heads. What was that about?
I just want to like talk about Lou. Like, I feel like Lou has all this energy inside of him, and he has all these ideas inside of him and everything like that. I mean, he did speak up several times, like, throughout the task with Diana, but, like, at the same time, he didn't really, you know, like, I feel like he's also quiet. Like, he has all the stuff he wants to say on the inside, but then he doesn't really say it, you know. And maybe that's due to his disability. I don't know, but, like, we can't keep blaming it on that, you know. I don't know.
Lou.
I'm worried about him, you know. Oh, wait, he did get fired, didn't he? Oh, duh, he got fired. Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, I see what you mean about Lou. I think he does hold a lot of stuff inside, but at this, you know, I think he is, like,
he doesn't really know how to give his opinion correctly, you know. And he doesn't, you know, I feel like he does it in kind of like a annoying way rather than saying his opinion straight up. Like, the whole time while they were discussing the task and what they were going to do together, he was quiet the whole time, like, in the van. But then when it came to, like, you know, while they were shooting, like, he was, like, saying his opinion here and there. But, like, you should have said that from before. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So the task at hand is they have to make a 60-second commercial. What did you think of Diana's commercial? But she was a project manager. Everyone knows Diana was a project manager on one side, and Teresa was a project manager on the other side. Diana's commercial, was her the sex thing? No, no, Diana was the
no, it was the couple.
The couple in the bedroom.
No, the couple that was getting engaged and then got married, and then, you know, we're about to have a baby and stuff.
Who came up with that idea?
I think Diana did.
Diana came up. What did you think of that commercial?
I liked it. I feel like it was good. I just feel like, you know, it was kind of monotone. Like, it was like the same thing. It's like, okay, you know, why don't you switch it up a little bit? Not switch it up, but, like, I mean, like Lou was right. They should have switched up the angle. They should have switched up, you know, the background more. They should have showed different shots instead of just one straight shot. You know, it's kind of boring.
I really think that they could have won if they switched up the angles and they used themselves as actors. I really think they could have won that.
Yeah,
and Lou said that, and he was right. But he held it in.
He held it in. He didn't say it. The only thing he said was he wanted them to switch the angles at the end, which they could have, but they chose not to listen to him, and that's their fault, you know? But he didn't say that. He only said it in the interview. He didn't say it in the he didn't say it, like, in the car or anything like that, or when they were directing it.
So definitely something, a takeaway here is, you know, if you're thinking something, you need to say it, because you know what happens? You hold it in, and then you come later on to say it, and then people pick at you and say, oh, well, you never said that. Or, you know, you end up regretting that you never had anything to say. You know, those moments when you're thinking something and you feel like you're right, but you get scared to say anything at meetings. You know, always speak your mind and speak the truth. I think that's what this is about. But then what's funny is that we end up, the irony of this is that later on in the boardroom, he ends up getting, you know, kind of messed up for saying the truth. Remember that? Yeah. So it's like on one side you're supposed to say the truth, and the other side it's like when you do speak up, just get ready that people can turn against you. When Lou spoke up about liking the other commercial, and then Trump got mad at him saying you shouldn't say that about your teammates. So it's kind of tricky when you do say the truth. Yeah. So then Aubrey calls Arsenio to the side, and they start speaking. Well, wait a second. Before we even get to that, what's up with Lisa blasting Arsenio like that?
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal. I was really confused about that. She has no right to get involved and, like, you know, try to bash him for no reason. Like, I feel like, I mean, you know, she was trying to make a point, but, like, it was just out of nowhere. She's just, like I said, she's Aubrey's mom, and she wants to protect her, and she's, like, you know, trying to act like everybody else is wrong except for her and Aubrey, and it's not fair.
Do you think all the women in America are going to hate Arsenio Hall for calling Aubrey the B word, like she said? Like Lisa says?
No. First of all, people use that B word all the time. It's not like, and even the W word, okay, the horror, not a horror, but like he called her that out of anger, and people say stuff out of anger, okay? So, you know, Lisa said the same exact thing, you know, after that. She called, you know, Lou and Diana losers and stupid, basically. Yeah, she called them...
She called them effing losers. She called Arsenio a BAMF. I don't know, trying to translate that. Yeah. If you saw it, you know what she said.
And that was really bad. Like she's hitting on, you know, Arsenio for calling her a whore and a bitch, but you called him something so bad, like a whore and a B. That's really, really bad. Like, I feel like she's really contradicting. She's a hypocrite because she's saying stuff to people, and she thinks that she can call people all these names and call people stupid and call people, you know, all these bad curses, and she, you know, shouldn't get called, or anybody else shouldn't get called anything else.
Yeah, it was way too much. She really lost it, and you know, she gets on Arsenio for losing it, yet she loses it like crazy and starts cursing everyone out. I think it's, you know, she says that, you know, Arsenio, when he calls her Aubrey, her little daughter, you know, a B, she goes ballistic and she starts talking about, you know, women's rights, but yet she goes and starts calling Lou Ferrigno the Incredible Hulk, you know, all these words, you know, I think, and then Diana and Arsenio. I mean, that's rude. I mean, have some respect for your peers at the same time, you know, like I think some of them are losing respect for, maybe because they're working with each other so closely. It's like, you know, relax, dude, you know, like have some respect, especially on national television, you know. So I think Lisa kind of lost it there, and she should apologize. I don't think she will.
That she has the right to call everybody everything because she thinks she's so smart, but nobody else can say anything about anybody, right? It's only her.
I think it's just her personality. She's a comedian. What did you think about, let's move on, what did you think about Aubrey talking to Arsenio? Was it fake or real?
No, I think it was real. I think she wanted just to show some, maybe she felt guilty about what happened. And, you know, I feel like it was smart of her to do that. At least she didn't act childish and say, oh, I'm not talking to you, and, you know, move on. You know, I mean, I feel like she was pretty. It was pretty mature of her to do that, you know, and I think it was also pretty mature and, you know, wise of Arsenio to say, oh, you know, like maybe I'll talk to you later and explain to you why, you know, I was so angry, and, you know, I felt like it was good. I respected that.
I feel like they made up good. I mean, Arsenio was really honest about, you know, his reaction, and I think I don't know if he completely apologized, but said that, you know, he said what he said, and, you know, he was angry, and he probably said some things. What I liked is later on in that boardroom, he says to Trump, he got the right reaction the right response from Aubrey with the wrong language. That was really interesting. Yeah. You know, like he did fix her up and made her, you know, be more mindful, but it was with the wrong language. But, you know, sometimes people need that. That's the problem. Sometimes people need that language. So Penn wants to leave early all the time. Penn leaves the task early.
I think Penn needs to get fired, like, next episode, dude.
Diana starts to jump to Diana's in her commercial. While they were doing it, she starts to take, like, a lot of charge. You notice that? Like, she was pushing her ideas, and then Lou was saying, like, oh, let's act it out, and then she was like, no, let's do it this way.
Yeah, she really, because you know why I feel like she's been, like, stepped on, like, throughout all, like, the past 5 episodes, basically. So, like, this time it's like she wanted to do everything her way, basically, because she never got a chance to do it her way before.
It's funny because it kind of worked, because usually she doesn't, and then everyone picks on her. And then this time she told Lisa, I remember in an interview, she was like, you know, I'm the project manager, she can just suck it up. And it's like, it kind of worked, because then it showed, because Lisa backed down, and then she started loving Diana at the end of it.
Exactly, but then she found somebody else to freaking pick on.
Yeah. You know? So it's like, it seems like you have to kind of like stand up for yourself and just really
But that's
speak
what
up.
Lou needs to do. I mean, he did that before with the guys, but he really needs to do that if he's going to be on Lisa's team. He really needs to stand up to her. And I have a feeling next week he might be project manager. Either.
Ooh, well, Lou's gone.
Oh, oops. Oh, my God. Oh, no.
Even though he shouldn't be, right?
Oh, man.
It's stupid. He should have stayed. What the heck is Diana and Lisa? It's going to be fun to see Diana. Diana, Lisa, and who else is it?
Diane, Lisa, and Penn. But I think
Penn's probably going to go.
No, but I think they're gonna add more people onto the team from the other team. I think that's what's gonna happen. So it's gonna be interesting to see. Imagine if they put Arsenio on the same team as Lisa.
Ooh. Well, it doesn't. Yeah, I think either way he's. I think with Aubrey or Lisa, he's kind of screwed. What do you think about how dirty the concept was for Teresa's? Do you think like it was dirty or wasn't?
No, when I saw the commercial, I didn't think it was dirty. I didn't think it was that dirty. I mean, it could have been like the script could have been written in a more dirty way,
What'd you think of Paul's makeover? He looked like I loved it. It was so awesome. Paul Senior, he was wearing like a green sweater with glasses, and the way they combed his hair was just unbelievable. But Lisa calls him who calls him a dweeb? Oh, it was Ivanka. She was like, "Oh, they made him look like a dweeb." It was just funny. Who uses that word anymore?
Yeah, right? I think that shows how old she is.
Yeah, even though she's not that old. So he looked pretty cool. I kind of like that. And he says how he's never going to be able to live it down, what he wore. Then Penn leaves early when they're doing the activity.
Yeah.
Back on.
I don't know what's the story. I feel like he keeps flying under the radar. And it's really bothering me. I feel like Penn should be fired. Like, he's
always like.
He's always acting like, "Oh, I'm not doing anything." Like, I'm a good person, Like, it's not fair that he's not, like, I mean, yeah, he has a show and stuff like that. I understand that it's business, but.
Yeah, I think it's not fair that he gets to leave early because he has all these shows to do. And then Clay calls Aubrey a loose cannon. I don't know if you remember that. He says it's hard to know what she's going to do from 1 minute to the next. Do you think she's.
Teresa said the same thing about her.
Teresa said the same thing about Aubrey?
Yeah. She said, you never know what you're going to get from her,
What do you think she's going to do next week?
I don't know. I mean, I saw the preview of the episode, but it didn't seem like it was about her. It seemed like it was mostly about Lisa and Lisa blowing up. So I feel like Aubrey's just going to chill for now.
I think next week is going to be Lisa and Diana. That's what they showed in the the trailer. Yeah. That they're going to kind of, seems like they're going to fight. But what was with Lisa and Diana teaming up against Lou, though, this time around? They kind of were like teaming up against Lou.
Well, Diana wasn't really saying anything. It was Lisa the one that was really speaking. Diana was trying to be nice, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like they have a little bit of a point. The fact that Lou doesn't really speak his mind and, is always like, "Oh, I said my opinion, but he really didn't."
But that's not true. During the thing, he's told Diana to change the angles. In the editing, he said, he also mentioned another, well, I mean, that's what they show. What else is he, like,
yeah,
I mean.
He wasn't strong enough, like, to speak up. Like, he was kind of weak when he was saying it, Like, he should have been more tougher, or he should have did it before they started before they start shooting. He should have said his opinion. But I feel like they're kind of right. But at the same time, it was kind of messed up that they were teaming up on him.
So, Teresa, they present the commercial to the executive. Diana presents the commercial to the executives. And the executives like both. And on the long run, they think Diana's was maybe a little boring. And then Teresa's might have been too risky. The one with the father thinks that the kids are having sex. That's overall their negatives. In the boardroom now, they get in the boardroom. And Trump keeps trying to ask Diana, who's the weakest player. And she keeps trying to avoid it, right? Like they always do. But she eventually calls Lou the weakest player. And she says that Lou's quiet. Which, he might be. I mean, I kind of felt bad for him at one point. Because he was saying that it takes some time to digest, the information. And that's true. Can you imagine you had, okay, you're deaf. You have 20 people or 5 people, whatever you want to do, around you, and they're all talking from different angles, and that's pretty darn hard.
Their mouths. He can't just hear them. He has to read their mouths. So when you have 5 people talking at the same time, he has to sit there and look at every single person and read their mouth.
Yeah, I mean that's difficult. Honestly, I don't even know how he's doing it, because he even seems like he's not even reading their lips, and he is obviously. So I mean, I don't blame him, but I guess they don't want to focus on the disabilities that much, regardless of whatever disability someone might have. But Lou and Lisa in the boardroom, that was amazing. I mean, it was basically. So then Lou tells Lisa, if you were a man, you would have been thrown against the wall or something like that. That was crazy, dude. So you're a woman and you love that?
I loved when he said that because she deserved it.
Lisa got, I just hate the way Lisa, she was all.
He should have said, if I wasn't a man, I would have threw, like, because he's a man, basically. Like, I would have said the same thing to her. I would have been angry,
Yeah, maybe he should have said, if I was a girl, I would slap you. Then it wouldn't have been as harsh, as opposed to saying if you were a man, you would have been. I don't know. And then Ivanka asked Arsenio if he thought Teresa took the right charge, and I think he sort of stumbles a bit. Then Arsenio, when he's asked about his situation with Aubrey, he says that he got the right results with the wrong language. You mentioned that earlier. Teresa tries to call no one the weakest link, but when she's pushed, did she say anyone? No, she never said anyone.
Said I would have to bring back everybody.
She said she would, and Trump.
Smart answer.
Well, Trump kind of kept telling her that the last project manager who didn't choose got 2 people fired, but she held her ground and it was fine because they eventually won anyway. And then they talk about how Aubrey went behind Teresa's back and she went to Ivanka and told her she always when Ivanka came in, they didn't show it, but when the Ivanka and the Trumps come in, they ask usually the project manager what's going on. But in this case, Aubrey overstepped Teresa and is telling her all the ideas because she wants to look like she's the one. And Ivanka mentioned that, and Teresa said she didn't like that, but it didn't, And I thought it was really interesting because Ivanka finally calls Aubrey to her face in the boardroom, you're polarizing. You remember that? Who the heck knows what that means, but I just feel it. And she says,
doesn't it mean you're picking 2 sides?
I don't know.
It's kind of like a.
Maybe.
I think it means that.
And she said, let's look that up, guys. Let's Google polarizing. And then she says to her, you tend to speak more than the person who should be speaking. Yeah, I think that's really.
I love that line. That was perfect. Exactly. That's exactly. She described her perfectly. Honestly.
Any comment? No. Exactly. So that's what it is. They watched the videos again, and what else happened? Trump asked Diana what they thought of Teresa's video, and then they all picked their own videos, and then Lou comes out of nowhere, of course, and when they asked Lou, he says he likes the other team's commercial better. I really felt that, I think he was trying to take a dig at his team, but it ended up working against him. Trump really called him on that and just said, why would you say that? Why would you say that? But what I want to ask Trump is, why do you keep asking everyone what they think? Who do you think is better? He asked them, who do you think is better? I mean, he wants to give them an honest answer.
I think the reason why Trump is asking him, who do you think is better? Because he knows and he can sense that Lou doesn't like their team's video.
So he's trying to pull it out from him.
He's pulling it out from him, so it's kind of unfair. Why else would you ask that if you know that if you know that you're gonna get people to say their true opinion? It's not fair.
Exactly. I felt like they set him up in a way.
Yeah, of course. He's setting everybody up when he's asking all those questions. Oh, why do you think this? And ooh, do you not like Lisa? Or ooh, do you not like blah blah? Because he's setting them up perfectly to fall into the trap. That's that's the whole point of asking those questions. If you go to any interviews and they ask those questions, they do that so they can pull out what's inside of you. I'm sure if he asked the other team, do you like their video, Diana's video? Of course they would have said no. They said ours is better. They did say that,
So, of course, that was really... They find out that Teresa's team won, so they're off the hook. Diana said she's going to bring back Lou and Lisa. And we all know Lisa's going to fly because she's such a loudmouth. And for some reason, she doesn't bring back Penn. And we feel like she really should have brought back Penn because he really... What the heck is he doing? I don't understand. He comes and does his shows and then leaves. So, Lou and Lisa are in the boardroom. And this is another great battle. This is where he says that he has a hard time digesting the information. And Lisa really, Diana kind of just sits back and watches. And Lisa's really tearing into Lou. And Lou's trying to hold his ground. But I think he kind of got polarized, if that's the right word, when Trump, he noticed, like, I noticed his facial expression started to change when he realized that the Trumps were kind of against him. Like, as he was trying to defend himself against Lisa, the Trumps come in and say, oh, well, why would you say what you said before? And I think he really got nervous. I think he just felt like, oh, it was done with. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that too.
So I think once he saw that Trump was kind of like questioning him about what he said, I felt so bad for him. Right?
I felt bad for him when he said, no, take that back. Don't fire me.
Oh, man, it's such a cute move from him. It's so weird. You know, after he got fired, you know, he says to him, you know, take that back. Lou, I really didn't think he deserved to be fired, but it's all good. I mean, he did his best. And like I said, the funny thing is he was right. The other commercial was better. And all the points that he gave, I felt, you know, they didn't listen to. So the winner is Teresa. Lou gets fired. And basically, like I said, Diana and Lisa are just team up against him. So my hero for this episode is Lou Ferrigno. So any predictions for next week?
Definitely Lisa and Diana look like they're going to get it down. And I don't know, maybe I know that this teams are going to be switched again. So hopefully somebody's going to be on Lisa's team who can kick her butt a little bit.
You sure they're going to be switched?
Yeah, I saw that in the preview. But I hope somebody sets Lisa straight. I hope Donald Trump sets Lisa straight.
I don't think he's going to set her straight yet because he's enjoying the drama for the show. But I think Diana's going to... I'm really proud of Diana. She really came out. She's really come a long way. I remember in the beginning she was like, but she's really, you know, stayed, you know, for the long run.
Who do you think is going to win the whole thing?
Who do I think is going to win the whole thing? I think the person who's going to win this whole thing is going to be... Man, that's a tough question. It's so... It could be anyone at this point. It's really anyone's game. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be Diana. Let's start ruling out people. I don't think it's going to be Diana because she's been in the boardroom so many times and she's been so close to being kicked off. So Diana is going to go eventually. I think Penn's going to go eventually because I think Penn is just like... I feel like he's not even playing the game anymore. And I'd see the people who I don't think are playing the game anymore are Penn and Paul Sr. Like, I think they're just like done with it. I think Diana's going to be done.
I think Lisa's going to be done too. I have a feeling, just from the previews that I saw, that she's probably going to get fired next week.
I don't know. I have a feeling it's like Arsenio or Clay. They're really standing out for me right now.
I think Teresa might be up there too.
You think Teresa?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Well, so far, I think the highest players are Teresa, Aubrey, Arsenio, and Clay. Lisa, I know for sure she has to be fired.
So I just want to touch on one other thing. The boardroom, they get into the discussion about Lou. You know, he speaks the truth about him liking the other commercial. Trump gets on him saying that he likes that he was honest, but that he respects loyalty more. What do you think is better, truth or loyalty?
That's tough.
But you know what I mean, right? That, like, he was honest, but then due to his honesty, they called him disloyal. It was such like a setup.
But I feel like if you're loyal to somebody, you will tell them the truth.
See, I think Lou could have really stood up for himself. I think he got shook too fast.
If I were him, I would have been like, I was loyal to my team. I told them that their thing wasn't good. Right. That's being loyal. Like, if he didn't care, he could have just been like, yeah, I love it. But, like, the fact that he actually cared, he's trying to give them constructive criticism.
It's amazing how words can affect things, because he could have been like, you know what? I was loyal to the team when we were... Now, it's funny that they were saying a team. At the boardroom, there's no teams anymore. Anyway, everyone's out for themselves. He could have been like, in the boardroom right now, I'm standing for myself, not for the team. I mean, it is, right? Someone's going to be fired, so he's standing for himself, not the team. That he could have won that.
Yeah, definitely. I wish he would have said that.
Yeah, I think it's amazing how just the right words can... And I think Aubrey and Lisa are very good at playing the game of saying the right words. Yeah. Like, it's not that they're right, it's that they know they say the right things. Yeah, Lisa, when she bashes Lou, she says it even if she's wrong. But she keeps saying things that make people... people like, oh, well, Lisa is the one that's doing the work. Lou's not... Like, you automatically assume when you listen to Lisa, Lou's not doing anything. Like, oh, I'm the winner. And she isn't the winner.
Yeah, so far she hasn't won anything. So
that has been our podcast. Go to guyfight.com and go check out some more articles on the Man's Guide to Entertainment. Take care, everyone. We'll see you on the next podcast with the next Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, yeah.